morning. Good morning. Hey guys, let me move this one down. Hey guys, it's your girl, your legal bestie, Attorney Simone, with Girl, Is That Legal? And today I am here for a much overdue update on our favorite scammer family, the Golds. The Golds. The alleged scammers. They're not actual scammers. There are allegations that they are scammers. And I'm here to update because there's so many different there's a lot of different things that have happened in the last week. I'm back from Ghana. So you see, hold on, let me show this so you can see my hold up, get up. Yes, I'm back from the motherland. So I got me some braids, y'all. I love them. Thank you. Thank you guys. I'm gonna put my headphones back on. Whew, because y'all, we got a lot to talk about. And if we have time, I'll drop a link. You guys can come on. Thank you guys for the compliments. So if you're not aware, in last month, I went to Turkey and got some work done. So that I was healing. So I'm still like, swole, like a stuffed cat a little bit. So we'll see what it looks like. It's going to be like another month or two. So I really get an idea. But I feel better. I can breathe better, which was critical. And we're going from there. So yeah, I got back from Ghana. I did Christmas and New Year's in Ghana. And it looks like the Golds have been traveling too. So I'm going to go ahead and put up on here. Let's delete this one. I'm going to put up this mission. I made sure to redact. Let's see. Let me just make sure it's going to show me their redacted info. Yes. God, it's so good. I redacted it because we don't dox people over here. So here's what's to start. Our favorite ghetto internet couple, the Golds. The Golds. That's Jennifer Williams and her hubby, Christian. Remember, back in September, he had a probation violation. He's been on probation for basically assaulting an ex-girlfriend. So he had a probation violation. And the violation is that he was been traveling without permission. He gets permission to travel to his wedding. That's what he tells the judge in September. The judge says, because it is your wedding, I'm not going to make you do 30 consecutive days. I'm going to split it and make you do 2 starting right now today. I was there in the courtroom sitting there. And then you're going to come back from your honeymoon, which was very nice of her. And you're going to have to do the rest of this time. It was 15 days total, but over the course of 30 days, to clarify. Well, so what we now know, thanks to our girl over at Real Talk Bougie, Super Sleuth. No, we had been saying, I was like, hey, I looked for a marriage certificate back when this marriage happened, and there was none. Now, with marriage certificates, when you're getting married in another country, you always get the certificate beforehand. You get it before you leave, then you go, you do your thing, and then you file whatever needs to be filed. We checked the dockets and that hadn't happened. And we knew that he could not have gone any earlier than the hearing to get it done, right? Because you can't file for that marriage certificate while you're sitting there in a jail cell like Mr. Christian was. So we knew there was no certificate on file. And if people had questions that were like, hold on, does that mean he lied to the judge? Yes. Now, Jennifer said it was a spiritual ceremony. Did you tell that to your guests who forked out $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to get over there? I flew business class to Dubai in November and Africa this past month. And I can tell you right now, the flight alone is going to be about $3,000. So did you tell people they were just traveling to your little fake kangaroo court marriage ceremony that was just going to be spiritual? No. I don't think that they did that at all. So let me play the clip for you on Real Talk. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about why his lawyer, his little Gmail lawyer, Gmail meaning literally his lawyer don't have a website. His lawyer may have a website, but his lawyer ain't got no real email address or nothing like that. Why his Gmail lawyer is upset with him, and what does that mean for the alleged victims, for his children who have been going without, and others. So let me start with this clip. Real Talk Bougie breaking down using her super sleuth skills. She is breaking down how she determined these 2 little hood rats aren't married. There we go. Or weren't married, correction.
Is this and then the marriage date?
This is what she found on the system.
12/18. Okay. So they got married. Oh, you can't see. Oh,
Yeah.
you can see this, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Look at that.
Nope.
Now, this means two things. Remember, he also put in for a name change. Christian has put in for a name change, which means it's not yet been accepted by the court. And let me tell you, if you are an alleged victim of his, object, 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 object. He put in there he wants the name change because he wants to start a new life. Start your new life after you compensate your victims. One of the grounds that can be used to object to a name change is that if it is believed that this name change is going to help in furtherance of a crime or going to help someone cover up a crime. Because what was happening is people would go, have long jail sentences, serve their jail sentences, and come out and be like, I want to change my name to Michael Jackson, because then they can't look me up and find all the fraud that I did when my name was Jerome Jackson or whatever it was, or Jerome Smith, something totally different. So they will totally change. Here, Christian wants to change his name to Christian Gold. And he talked about it in a prior video. You can check my videos on the Christian Gold Basketball Wives playlist and see that. So anyway, this shows here, her name is Jennifer Lauren Williams. His is Christian LaSalle Walden. There is no gold involved. There is fool's gold. There's lots of fool's gold, but none of the other. And then it's saying here that 12/18. They got married in Vegas, y'all. Why are you bothering these people going all the way across the seas when you could have just invited people over to Vegas? You know why? Because that's not so fancy. Furthermore, they wanted to go over and do the fancy Parisian thing because they thought somebody was going to pay for it. They thought Shawnee O'Neal or Basketball Wives, one of the people was going to get up there playing with them and they foolishness and pay for it. Anybody fooling for that and says, she said Jen is licking the monkey bars, is licking the monkey bars slow. Oh my God. Hit that like button, guys. We've got 400 some in the chat and we've got less than 200 likes. Oops. Yeah, we only got 83 likes. Get those likes up, guys. Someone said Jen paid for it. I do believe that. Remember, all of this coverage that I've done, it started because here at Girl Is That Legal, I break down celebrity legal drama and regular people legal drama too. And it all started because he went on national TV, lied to that woman and said he needed $250,000 as restitution when we found that his true restitution was only $12,000. Okay. But it just so happened that the cost of the wedding was $250,000. So in effect, if Jennifer gave him that money, she, unbeknownst to her at the time, was likely paying him to buy her own wedding. Not in fact to pay for the restitution. Remember, that's how this all started. So July 18th, they get married in Vegas. Here's also what this means. Jennifer's assets are now part of what people can come after when he's found to be involved or if alleged fraud. You can come after that stuff too, because she said, oh, we're going to commingle. So people have asked, what about the prenup? This is my favorite part. Now, arguably, we don't know. I will tell you, I don't know if there's a prenup. But let me tell you, if there is one, I'm going to explain to you under the law why even if there is one, it's probably not valid. It's probably not valid because Christian lies about his assets. I believe if Jennifer knew how not poor, he cannot even afford the O and the R, how poor this man really is, how truly in debt this man is, she would not have married him. In order for a prenup to be valid, both sides must disclose all assets, all debts, all liabilities, all of them. And including, I had a conversation at the pool in Ghana with one of my rich friends at the Kempinski, shout out Kenny, about this. Kenny was like, well, I don't have to disclose what I have in a trust, do I? Yeah, you do. You do. Anything that's yours, you have to disclose. So I say that to say, a prenup here, if he isn't Christian, isn't disclosing all of his assets, or if Jennifer doesn't disclose all of hers, it wouldn't be valid. If you think back to the Jeannie Ma and Jeezy divorce, her grounds to invalidate the prenup, she tried to argue that he didn't fully disclose all his assets. And if that had been true, it was not found to be true. If it had been found to be true, that's how you would set aside a prenup. Now, here, that boy ain't got nothing to get. We also know that. He ain't got nothing to get. They're living in Jennifer's house. And guess what else is probably going to happen? The next time he gets arrested, because the feds have not let up. They have not. The feds are still on his back. They are investigating. And I'll say this, with financial crimes, I'm going to go into how that works. But the gist of it is the next time he gets locked up and has to make bail, hey, anybody who has had a relative where you had to bail out, one thing you know is, what did the bail bondsmen want? Collateral. Jennifer's going to have to put that little house up. When you are married to the person, the defendant, the jailbird, they generally want the spouse to put up collateral because that's the person that you are most likely to be loyal to, okay? So Miss Jennifer's little townhouse she done got out there in Cobb County, it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs, okay? Thank you guys. Oh, I see it. So it is my birthday. Thank you. My birthday is January 4th. I was born on January 4th, the 4th day of the year at 4:44 in the morning, which is why I am Jesus's favorite sinner. The rest of you come somewhere behind me. Love you all. So some people are shouting me out for my birthday. Thank you. But most importantly, getting back to it. Jennifer's house, Jennifer's assets, the Rolls Royce, all of that can now come into play now that she decided to marry this little nincompoop. So that's the main thing I want to be clear. I'm going to see what other questions y'all have. Ooh, it says she's currently purchasing a house for them in LA. Ooh, Nakiba, how stupid would that be? Here's what I think. I don't think she could afford to purchase a house for them in LA. No. I think she could afford to rent one though. So as soon as we find out about that, let me know. We'll get the details and I'll be able to pull the county records to see whether she's owning or renting. They can't afford to rent neither. Also, the other thing is when you're married, they run the credit of both spouses. Now, even if you try to say, now if it's a community property state, even if you say, well, it's only going to be mine, a lot of times the lenders will say, we don't care. We still want to run the credit of both. And then we're going to make you sign, the other partner signs something that says they're going to do away with their share. The problem is that's only good for the bank, if that doesn't stand against victims who are then seeking reimbursement for anything. So if she and him buy a house together, it's going to be half his. And if it's paid for with any of the alleged scam money, because these people still have not been paid pursuant to their payment plans, many of them, then you have to get that back. Just like the girl, Erica from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had to give back a whole bunch of stuff that she had. Not the earrings. She was able to keep the earrings, but a bunch of other stuff because she got with a crook and you knew darn well. Hey, Francis, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Whew, yes, another birthday. My butt's getting old. Oh, I see another one. MD, thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate you. MD, you're spoiling me. You are spoiling me. So we're going to get back to this. And then now, y'all, we're going to get to this motion that Christian's lawyer has recently filed. Now, you may have seen it covered on other channels, but never like this. So I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to break down what it means for the law. And then I got some questions. Hold on. I'm going to drop this link if anyone wants to give their commentary after I break this one down. Hold on. Pull this. Let's get this. I'm going to pin it in the chat here. So let's pin. If anyone, there we go. So if anyone wants to come on up. Oh, also, don't forget, you can go to SimoneRedwine.com at any time. That's my website. You can get my ebook. Oh, you know what? Someone was telling me they were having an issue purchasing it. I think it was Miss Halliday. I'm going to make sure that that's corrected, but it's $19.99, and it is called The Beginner's Guide to Finding Out Who the Heck you're really dealing with. Background Checks 101. You can also book a consult with me here up at the top. Just click Book Hire Attorney Simone. Consultations start at only $149. You can book them here. I help with legal consultation issues across America, including there have been instances where people have already filed something in small claims court. I will review and edit the documents for them. People cannot seem to find a good lawyer where they are living to do the type of case that they have. And I've assisted with finding that. So a variety of things that can help you across America. Now let's jump into this doggone motion. So I'm gonna make it a little bigger on the screen. So what Christian's lawyer has filed, bless this man's heart. Now this man's name is Mr. Michael Maloof. Mr. Maloof, as you see here, he's got his little Gmail going on there. The Maloof Law Firm at gmail.com. Just FYI, because these are public documents, because this is this man's public business contact information, this is not considered doxing. Because I know somebody's gonna be like, you didn't dox that lawyer. No, but I have a saying here on the channel. If your lawyer got Gmail, you're probably going to jail. If your lawyer got AOL, you're definitely going to jail. That's because those type of lawyers don't mean they're not good at their job, but it does mean they're behind times. Okay. You can just go down to Wix.com, get your little website, so people don't just have to Gmail you. Plus, I have concerns that Gmail may not be as secure as clients deserve, having their information just all the way on those internets for those scammers to take and glean. So yes, so we got a little Gmail lawyer. Go and say it with me. If your lawyer got Gmail, you're probably going to jail. If your lawyer got AOL, you're definitely going to jail. And you'll be grateful if your lawyer comes to your AOL lawyer. You'll be lucky if he comes to jail with some iron pants on, because usually they wrinkle at the courthouse. That's how you know what's what. Okay. So this is what the gentleman said. Now, mind you, these people got a $6 million net worth. So the motion says, come now, Michael Maloof, attorney of record. Breakdown, it says the defendant has failed to adhere to the terms of the retainer agreement and has not paid the agreed upon fees. Despite repeated requests and efforts to secure payment, including numerous communications from counsel, the defendant has not satisfied the payment obligations as stipulated in the retainer agreement. Counsel has made multiple attempts to contact the defendant to resolve the payment issue and remind the defendant of the contractual obligations. However, the defendant has not made any reasonable effort to address the payment and has failed to remit payment for services rendered. Given the defendant's refusal to meet the agreed upon payment terms, and in light of the breakdown in the attorney-client relationship, it's no longer feasible or ethical for counsel to continue. Here's what that means. It means I don't like this boy. Don't have me sitting up here trying to fight for this boy's freedom when I don't even like him, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to do a good job, because I'm going to do it with an attitude. Because I'm poor. And I'm poor because of men like him. That's generally how I felt when people would want me to continue representing them unpaid. I would say, you don't want this. Let me tell you something, guys. If there's one thing you don't want to get with the coupon, with the voucher, with an IOU, it's your freedom. It's your freedom. You don't want your freedom to come with the coupon, because you're probably not going to have it for very long. Okay. Further, it says defendant's been informed of the intention to file this motion to withdraw, and the defendant has been made aware that the failure to pay could result in a withdrawal as counsel. Christian Walden has consented to his attorney's withdrawal, as he has not objected to the withdrawal as of the filing of the motion that he was given to the client and the notice of the intention to withdraw on December 20th. Now, we know he couldn't have received it on 20th, because on 20th, Christian was running around having a real Vegas marriage after that little fake internet scandal he done created, where they had a little internet wedding, the fake one in Paris. So he said he notified him on the 20th and that Christian has not responded. It says before submitting it, he sent it to his contact information. All right. Now, here's what that means. The fact, many have asked me, so what does it mean? Why would Christian consent to it? Because he ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. By consenting to it, he probably feels like, okay, well, now I'm not going to have to pay it. He's not my lawyer anymore, but this means I don't have to pay it. No, boo-boo, you still owe it. But the truth of the matter is this, and many people don't know this. Lean this in. This is why you come to this channel, because you get the legal tea from a lawyer who's breaking it down in a little bit different way. Unfortunately, those of us lawyers who have malpractice insurance in the best don't ever hire a lawyer who doesn't have it. Because chances are if the lawyer doesn't have it, it might be because they can't get it, which might be because they've had too many claims before, just like somebody who can't get good car insurance. Well, so with insurance, every year we have to renew it. And one of the questions that they ask us is, are you currently suing any of your former clients for non-payment? Therefore, it's really discouraged for us to sue clients who don't pay. Instead, we're encouraged to do this, which is withdraw. So chances are the Gmail lawyer probably will never get his money unless Christian and Jennifer want to do the right thing, which so far hasn't happened at all. Hasn't even happened with Christian's own children, who he still hasn't paid any child support since last June of 2024. 2024. It says, did he actively consent or consent by not responding? When and where? Exactly. Here is consent by not responding. That is hugely different. So one thing that could happen is Christian could oppose this motion because it's set for like a later time. He could show up at there and say, no, Your Honor, I don't want him to leave. No, but what the court's going to do is say, then pay him. A court's not going to force a lawyer in a case like this. Like, this is not a case where trial is next week or something. They're not going to force a lawyer to stick around in a case like this. He's going to have to get a court-appointed lawyer. Because this is criminal. All of this is criminal. Okay, you don't want to pay your private lawyer, then you need to be like the rest of the poor people and go get a public defender. And there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, can we get that like? Y'all hit that like sign. Excuse me, hit that like button. There's nothing wrong with the public defender. And honestly, sometimes public defenders can be better. It really just depends. One day I'm going to do a video on how if you got a court-appointed lawyer, how do you help that lawyer so they could do the best job? Because basically, if you act as their paralegal, you present them with a lot of the evidence to help you build out your case, they can do a phenomenal job because they work every day, day in and day out with these prosecutors to get you deals. But what they're short on are investigators. A lot of people don't realize that they're short on investigators in the public defender department who can investigate and find the evidence to help exonerate you or to help you get a good plea deal. All right. He said he forgot by the time he realizes it's too late and no one else will work with him. Yes, that's the other thing. Once these kind of motions to withdraw get filed, no other lawyer is going to come in here and be like, sure, I'll represent you after you hadn't paid the last guy. And we call the new lawyer who's thinking of the case. We call the last lawyer and be like, hey, what kind of client was this? Did they pay their bills on time? And all of that. That's not true. Shandell, where do you have to pay a public defender? No, you do not. Now, you may have to pay certain fees, like if you take a plea, but those fees are not to pay your public. That's why maybe you're thinking of a different situation, but no, you don't pay a public defender. They're free. That's why they say if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Tommy J asks, is Jennifer really this foolish? Why the hell would she legally marry that man knowing he has potential restitution to pay? Right. So we did learn in September, he paid off the restitution, which was only the $12,000. In fact, he had to pay that in order to get the wedding travel pass. So that again, remember, they sent me a cease and desist claiming that I need to stop talking about him and that I was lying because I said that his restitution was $250. Only for the same Gmail lawyer to file a motion for him to get a travel pass for the wedding, claiming that in fact, the restitution was only $12,000, not $250, and that it had been paid. So yes, so allegedly he's paid the restitution, but if he can't pay his lawyer, here's the thing. He's still up there making videos, y'all. They're still putting up videos talking about invest with us, invest with us, invest with us. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't nobody call my phone talking about I invested with him this year, talking about 2024. Don't call my phone this year talking about, oh yeah, I recently gave him some money after your videos were up. I gave him some money because he said what you said wasn't true. And now I'm not getting paid. Now I'm broke. God does not reward the stupid. That is your penance. I grew up going to good Catholic school, St. Elizabeth in Oak Cliff. Okay. You go into the confessional, you tell God all the little stupid things you did. And at the end, what does he do? He don't hug you. He says, okay, you got to say some Hail Marys, you got to do some prayers, you got to do some things differently. Okay. Because God does not reward the stupid. And if you give this man any money from this day forth, knowing his own lawyer says he hadn't paid me, he hadn't paid me so much money, I got to go, Your Honor. Get me up out of here. I want to scram. You think that's the man that's going to turn your little $1,000 up into something you can fold? No. I said, when the poop hits the fan, I don't want to see or hear Jen cry because we tried to warn her. Yes. If they didn't get married in September, couldn't the judge hold him in contempt? Great question. So the answer is this. He could be in big trouble because he lied straight up. But the truth of the matter is, in DeKalb County, where that happened, they got so many things going on I don't see that ever being a standalone motion. Now, what I do think could happen in the future is Christian get in trouble for something else probation related. And then when that motion is filed for his issues with whatever else he's done, all of this is brought up as to why his bail should be revoked, or his, not bail, but his probation should be revoked. Because remember, he is on probation until August 2025 as of now. He asked to be let off early. The court said no, but did give him a new probation officer. That probation officer actually approved him to go to Vegas and to leave the state, to travel and do these different things that he's doing. And she basically said, because I had one of my little spies, I had one of our subscribers was in court and listened. She basically said she's chill. He can go and come as he wants. He don't have to report like it was before with the prior ages. She just needs to know where he's at. So he has it very lax. But if he were to do something else, specifically, if federal charges are to come down, there's going to be a motion filed by the state. And then the state's going to say, well, hey, not only do we have these new fraud federal charges, Your Honor, remember that whole hullabaloo back in September when he was talking about oh, Your Honor, can I go for my wedding? That it wasn't no wedding and that it was this rigmarole. The judge then may be so insulted that she has him held, revokes and has him held without bail, or at least for a period of time where she feels like he done sat down and he can get some sense. It says, I can't believe Jennifer is this gullible. Yeah, these women need to stop taking care of these men. Yeah, it's a level of desperation. And then the other thing is, okay, so at the wedding, at the clips of the wedding, and I'm not going to play that. There, go to Real Talk Bougie. I'm going to link her video. She has some great clips in there. So what she pulled up and what she pulled together, the gist of which is she was watching some of their videos, Christian and Jennifer on their channel. Go ahead and support them because they're poor. And maybe this will allow him to actually pay the lawyer back. Oh. Nothing wrong with being poor. Some days I am too. Anyway, so what she saw is in the video, she saw they were in Vegas, they were in fun, and he let something slip like, oh, I lied before, but I'll never lie again. Something along those lines. And she was like, huh. And her little spidey senses was up, and she went and she pulled the docket, pulled the information, and saw, they were not married before. They were not married before, but they got married in Vegas. So here we go. There we go. So with this motion, with this information, what we're finding out is he spent his money to go get married real quick in Vegas. Because remember, I told y'all, I said, I know they haven't gone to a courthouse because she would have had pictures for that. She likes to photograph everything and be glamorous so that, because the courthouse part where you file the documentation, we all know that that's just procedural. Like, so many people who are celebrities who had extravagant weddings also have photos of them that they posted at various times of them just going, signing the paperwork. She didn't have any of that. That's how I knew. Probably wasn't any. Now, we all thought it was because maybe she had a little bit of sense to her and had decided that she was not going to marry him officially because of the risks that would put on her. But apparently, no. Marrying in Paris, does that make the marriage illegal? No. What happened was Paris was first, and then she actually got married for real in December. So that's perfectly fine. To say court appointed, okay. Shannon is saying to say court appointed attorneys are completely free is misleading. Okay, feel free to in the chat elaborate on how you feel about that. I'm not dismissing what you're saying, but for me, if a lawyer costs $10,000, but at the end of signing a plea deal, you have to pay a $50 fee, I consider that free. But every county is different. So you may have had some experience that's a bit different. And so on this channel, I welcome that kind of like respectful discourse. So feel free to give us an example of how it works where you are or what you're familiar with. It said, so they had a wedding in Paris, but got married in Vegas. Exactly. So here's what I think really happened. What I think really happened is that in I can understand this. I was on a reality show and we were thinking that the show would help pay towards the wedding. Jennifer's been on Basketball Wives for years. She probably thought that the show was going to cover the wedding. So they started making the plans and she did it her Jennifer, way, super fancy Jennifer way. And then when the show was like, we don't care. It was like, shit, we got to keep going. We have to continue going forward with this. And now we're going to have to pay for it. And now I would love the feds when they trace the money and where the money is going for the victims. I'd love to see to what extent the money that was for the victims and that was supposed to be invested in their funds, where it started going to wedding stuff instead. How does that correlate? Because they get married in September. You get married in September, pretty much everything is supposed to be paid 30 days before. And he's conveniently in August sends an email talking about the markets went down and he ain't got nobody's money. That is a very convenient timeline. Here's the other thing. So now we're going to talk about the federal investigation generally, how it works. Number one is it takes time. So I represented and defended some people who were accused of PPP fraud. I'm going to use that context as my kind of my experience dealing with the feds and forensic accounting. So the feds have on their payroll what's called forensic accountants. Forensic accountants, when it's alleged that you've done some type of a federal crime that's money related, what they do is they're basically accountants that go in and they trace how money is moved. So unbeknownst to Christian, they would be out here getting subpoenas to his bank accounts. And not just his, because Jennifer decided to be a genius and marry him. Now all of hers. So Jennifer, I hope you've paid your taxes properly because you're about to get audited. So they're going to go in and they're going to pull bank statements. They're going to go back years. They're going to pull Cash Apps, PayPals, all of that. And so they get those records direct from the bank. They not going to knock on Jennifer Williams' townhouse. Talking about hey, can we see your bank statements? No, you're scammers. Your husband's an alleged scammer. Instead, they're going to pull all the documents. They're going to trace where the money is gone. They're going to see if it tracks where, Christian is saying, hey, the market was volatile. I lost the money due to the market. They're going to show, did the money even go into a trading account? Okay, if it went into the trading account, how were you keeping track of each individual person or family's funds? Okay, and then when it went down, by what percentage for what person? But then also when that money is coming out, where is it going? And then what is your income? See, Christian is saying he's not getting paid from people's trading. He gets a one-time flat fee of $2,500, which is his own form of illegal. It's called an illegal advanced fee. What that means is E-Trade cannot say, hey, give me your money and I'm going to charge you a flat rate of $2,500 for all the money that you get. Under the American law, you can't do that. You can get a commission on each trade. They can get a monthly maintenance fee. They can get things like that. But what you cannot do is say, pay me this fee before I even begin working for you. And that is, we only got 320 likes, y'all. We got over 1,000 watching. Let's get them likes up. And that's basically what's happened. It says, Golden Life has said the man is a professional scam artist, allegedly. And I don't know why Jennifer doesn't see him for what he is. Because it's not convenient. So Jennifer, I have many women that I consult with, that I help. And when you ask them time after time about like certain scams, how they've been scammed, what they'll tell you is, I was really hoping that this was my turn, that it was my turn for my fairy tale. I'm a good person. It's always like the people are good people. I'm a good person. I worked hard. I did things the right way. So I just thought this was finally my knight in shining armor. The problem is when you have been giving all of these clues, then it's your time to take back your time and say, all right, not this one. Yes, you do deserve all of those things, but you're not going to get it from this fool. Alteria, Christian was live on YouTube recently trading. I hope it was with his own money. Love me some Alteria. Alteria is one of the alleged victims who is staying on that neck. She's staying on his neck. She's standing on his pelvis. She's standing on his lungs. That man can barely breathe because of her. Okay. And by the way, guys, he threatened to send her a cease and desist and other things. He sent me a cease and desist. And just to give you an update, there is none. He also is trying to get my law license revoked to have me disbarred. So he filed with the bar. I filed a response that was basically like, he's full of caca. And I'm still waiting on a response for that. So we'll see how that goes. It says, I wonder how the judge feels about being lied to, talking about when Christian claimed in September he was going for a wedding. It said he represented the court. He was getting married. Court looks into consideration with sentencing. Turns out it was just a group trip. Yeah, it was really a work trip because he thought he was going to shoot this stuff and then there would be this wedding special. Let me know in the chat. If there is a wedding special, would you want to see it now? And here's why I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% sure there's not going to be one. It's because if there was going to be a wedding special, they wouldn't have gotten married in Vegas and then vlogged about it. So right now, what they did with the vlog is they took some footage of them going to Vegas. And then they're like, we have a surprise for you. We have a surprise for you. We know what the surprise is because Real Talk Bougie told us. We also know what the surprise is. And it's not a surprise because we knew y'all weren't married. And it's also not a surprise because this is all very stupid. Oh, no, good. Simply Cindy, how is he sending cease and desist with no lawyer? Was this before? So he did use a lawyer to send the cease and desist. I then responded to that lawyer immediately saying, please identify what I've stated that's untrue so that I can immediately withdraw or correct it. I never heard back because nothing that I said was untrue. Under the law, you have to, before you can sue someone, under Texas law, which is where I'm based, you have to send someone a letter, like the cease and desist, that says, these are the false statements that you make, now take them down. And you have to give them a reasonable amount of time to take them down. So once I wrote back and responded and said, identify the false statements so that they could be withdrawn, crickets. And that lawyer is a lawyer who knows what he's doing. He's very expensive. I think he's like $1,500 an hour, something like that. And what I anticipate, or my hypothesis, my guess, is that likely he wrote the letter based on what Jennifer and Christian told him, which were lies. And then once he probably watched the videos or saw the statements that were allegedly untrue, he was like, these are not actionable. That's not, or they're not untrue. And then secondly, what Christian did is while he was angry, sitting in his little jail cell, he hand wrote a letter to the Texas bar asking for me to be disbarred. And he outlined one of the things that he outlined. I have a video on that. I'll link it. In that video, what he outlined was that I had, among other things, that I said that he didn't actually owe $250K in restitution. And he's claiming that he did. He's really sticking by that lie. So it's all quite stupid. What does it say? It has to be more than about convenience, though. She's literally at risk of losing her assets behind this. I also think he's a really good alleged scammer. For those who have been scammed by him, I am astonished with his ability to manipulate and tear people apart. And so thank you so much. So it's mental too, I'm sure. And remember now, one of the things that people do or that narcissists and that emotional abusers do, right? And I don't know what he's doing, but I'm just telling you what it looks like. they isolate you from your friends. Here, unfortunately, her and Evelyn are no longer friends. It appears to be, I don't know this to be true, but it appears to be in part because Evelyn's been asking questions, presenting the evidence to her. Hey, this doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. And as a good friend, I think people sometimes they confuse what support and love look like. Like, I can support you from afar and love you. But I don't have to sit back and be like, yeah, that man that's scamming you, I'm going to tell my friends and family about him so he can scam them too. Like, nobody has to do that. Or I'm going to, I can say, I think that your man is emotionally or financially abusing you, and say, therefore, I don't want to be around him. So if you want to do brunch, that's fine. Also, here's the other thing that I'm going to say is wrong. Wow, I know y'all gonna say I'm a little messy, but remember, I'm a lady first and a lawyer second. At this little Vegas shotgun wedding, and I can't say shotgun because she's not pregnant or anything like that, but this little Vegas wedding, it was like the two of them and their gay homeboy, Armani. I would know this. Here's the thing in the chat. I don't know no straight men with gay besties at all. Do y'all? All the ones that I know have gay besties are at least like 49% gay. Like, they halfway gay a little bit. I am. Now, somebody wrote me in before and they were like, that's terrible. You shouldn't say this. It's going to make people not want to be friends with us gays. Everybody loves you gays. Nothing wrong with y'all. What I'm saying is, for me, my eyebrow went when the third party, the little three musketeer to their little crew, is a super gay. Okay. He's not like a quiet one. He's not because see what I do, like my friends that I know who have friends that are straight black men. I'm not only talking about black men because that's who I know. Straight black men who are friends with gays, they know them pre-gay or they're related to them. It's like, oh, this is my gay cousin Charlie and him, they're fine. Because he's been gay Charlie since y'all was infants. He was a gay baby. Everybody knew. And we love him. Or it was pre-gay, like, okay, I know this boy from elementary school type of thing. I'm just saying. You'll see in the video, I'm looking at the comments. Yeah, he has no straight single friends. That's weird to me. Okay, that's really Kiki. I love you, Kiki Lockett. Kiki, she's saying it right. See, I gotta work on my tech. Y'all gotta help me a little bit sometimes. It's odd to me that the two things that be odd to me is if a man doesn't have any friends, if he doesn't have any straight single friends. And when men have no friends, the reason that's odd to me is, in my experience, because remember, I used to have a gay boyfriend. He was really nice though. It didn't matter. But my gay boyfriend, he would never bring me around his friends. He would tell me about his friends and then come to find out, because all his friends was gay. He was also one of Gigi's sex workers. But that's another story for another story time. There is a law that you can't have a gay bestie if you Kenny, you're in timeout, girl. It said there's a law you can't have a gay bestie if you've been in prison. But I do think that makes a lot of sense. It's very rare for a black man to have a gay bestie. I have never seen it actually. Black women, yes. Black men, exactly. That's all I'm saying. Women can do it, but men can't. Somebody said, can't wait for that story time. Okay, I'll get that. Yep, can we get more likes? I really appreciate it, y'all. All right, I don't see anybody that has joined backstage for any commentary, which is cool. Yesterday was my birthday. And I'm going to roll out my story time this week because I got to get my life together. And yeah, I think we're also going to include a story of, I don't know if you knew, but I was a rapper. I used to be a rapper in my day. Have a little rap song. It's called Birthday Twerking. What would this be in my birthday week? I think I'm going to give you the story time, the backstory of when I was a rapper. And then we're going to conclude that video with the actual music video that I had. Birthday Twerking. Twerk like it's your birthday. Yes. All right. Simone, where is this guy? Which guy? You my gay boyfriend? Probably somewhere in New York City, gallivanting around. I don't know, hanging out with the rest of them. But that's cool that they share a best friend. Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. In conclusion, what we learned today is that Christian and Jennifer only recently got married. They got married in Vegas. The judge from September would probably be really pissed and annoyed to hear this, but will likely never hear about it because they got real crimes going on in DeKalb County, and I don't see them bringing a hearing just for this one matter. Instead, what's more likely is when the feds come down and charge him for some of these alleged crimes, financial crimes of taking money from people, that they may tack this on as another example of the fraud that he and Jennifer have committed. Now that Jennifer's married to him, her assets can now be seized. And even if there was a prenup, which I highly doubt, that prenup probably won't be valid because the two of them likely were not honest about their assets, because she would then in fact know he ain't got nam. He ain't got NAM. And last but not least, he's still continuing to trade and to solicit new investors to his business, even though his lawyer just filed a motion to withdraw because he had not paid the lawyer. So if there's anyone out there considering investing with him, if you think you're going to get paid and he hasn't paid his own lawyer, your noggin needs examination. You are not okay. Oh, there goes my date, y'all. I gotta go. Oh, excuse me. I gotta go. Love y'all. Talk to you later. This is your legal bestie, Attorney Simone.